Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at these. And what these are from Djablo, or Djablo, one of those pronunciations, I'm sure is the right one. This is the just regular hot sauce and what are we calling this anyway? Yeah, just I guess just regular hot sauce, original maybe. And the Power Jab. The Power Jab, of course, was on the Hot Ones show. And I like this sauce so much. When I first opened it, I'm like, I'm just going to order everything that they have because I liked it that much. And so this is the regular edition here. And where in the hell are the ingredients? Not on that panel. Okay, so this is the... Oh, hey, there it is. Djablo. Okay, Djablo. So, Filipino hot sauce. And there's a story with that I'll get to shortly. So we have vinegar. Oh, this label sucks. Coconut oil, I guess. We've got... is it coconut oil with the vinegar? Oh, that's so weird. We have ginger. We have Italian chili peppers, olive oil, garlic. We have jalapeno. We have Asian teardrop peppers. I've never had those before that I know of. Agave Jamaican ground chili peppers, kosher salt, and what's this? Chia seeds, and dried spirulina. This one, the Power Jab, is a lot looser actually, as you can see. And there's a punch to this one. That's right, Sakatumi hot sauce. Where are the ingredients on this one? Holy moly. I hate clear bottles for this reason. Okay, I found them. They're on this stupid side panel. So we have vinegar. We have, let's wait too close. We have serranos. We have garlic, olive oil, agave, ginger. Whoa. Thai chili flake, ground chia seeds, salt, dried scorpion pepper, and spirulina. So definitely it's not just a matter of adding a hotter pepper. These are two different sauces. There is a smoked version of this as well, but I could not find it once I got these. So here's kind of the story. Is I got this one because I love the name Power Jab. I'm like, that is such a cool name. So I looked. There was a Heatness at another sale. So I saw this one, and then I looked at the Djablo website, and I saw that they had a smoked as well. And so I was like, I'll just get all of them. I don't like doing triple reviews, but in this case, I think I probably will. And I couldn't find the smoke, so that went out the window. But I did find this one. And so this bottle has been open a really long time because I'm like, anytime I get food or anytime I get sauces from a country where I'm not familiar with the cuisine, the first thing I want to do is try some of that country's cuisine on the food. So let me just let's get that out of the way. Okay, and so I started looking for Filipino restaurants, and I was pretty hard pressed. But I started just going through one by one, and a lot of them, as it turned out, were not in business anymore, which I found out the hard way by driving to them and trying to get some Filipino food, because I don't, if I've had Filipino food, it's not been a recent memory. So anyway, I'd have these browser tabs open for literally months on my computer. This is the original here. You can see it's a very pale sort of green. I don't like the color of this, actually. It does sort of remind me of maybe like a pesto, or maybe like a pine nut hummus, possibly something like that. I'm not in love with the coloration of that one, however. So anyway, I finally found one after driving literally all over town to find the stupid. This one's clawed up the neck too. Literally driving all over town, just systematically on the day that I thought I'd film this. And so I put this on hold for a really long time. It was going to be in Q4. And it just didn't shake out that way. And you can see the difference here. The Power Jab is a lot darker, a lot smoother, a lot less chunky. I like the color of this, actually. It's sort of brownish green sort of color. It looks super nice. And like I said, the first time I had this, I was just like, wow, that is just mind-blowing. Especially for a scorpion sauce. But, you know, like I said, I've not had, to my knowledge, any Filipino hot sauces before, and I don't know if I've ever had Filipino food. I might have and just didn't remember, but I don't know. We definitely will be today. There's your hint. But first, let's start with the sauces. We'll go with the original first. So very green, very herbaceous. There's a kind of slickness there from the olive oil and the coconut oil in there. It is a very vibrant, very, for lack of a better term, green tasting sauce. And next will be the Power Jab. So the heat is very moderate in this. It's sort of between a 0 and a 1. All right, here we go with the Power Jab. That is super tasty. You get a lot of pepper in this one, a lot of garlic, a lot of, what is that? I read the ingredient, I think, already. What is that? It's making up the bulk of this. Not a lot of ginger. This one's mostly peppers and garlic. And maybe that's just, was it the same sort of thing in here? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of garlic in here. This one's very garlic forward. Definitely the freshness is still there at this one. It's just not anywhere near as vibrant as this one. Very different experience. This one is definitely more of a hot saucy type product. This one is almost more of a, just like I said, a very lively and fresh, herbaceous sort of condiment. Both of them are nice in their own respect. I like this one a lot better, though, the Power Jab. All right, so I think this is the first time I've done a hot ones where there's been double sauces. They're not both hot one sauces. Only the Power Jab was on the show. And of course, you can check out the written review, of course, if you're interested as well. Link to that is in the description below. So I got a few things. The first one is we got skewers and rice. And why don't we just try a little bit of this on some rice. These are pork skewers. Have a look. Looks super delicious, right? So let's try the rice here first with the with the original. It's fine. Not my favorite, but it's fine. We'll try the power jab. So, rice is not strictly a Filipino dish, obviously. A lot of Asian countries use it. So, these sauces are not great on just regular rice. All right, then. So, we will save the rice for when I can gussy it up with some other stuff. Let's get a baseline. What am I doing here? Let's do it here. Oh man, that is delicious. Meat on a skewer, I mean, it's really hard to go wrong with that. And here they got some nice caramelization going on with whatever this barbecue sauce is. Wherein it's fused. I'm going to poke myself in the mouth if I keep doing that. Man, that was really on there. Holy moly. Maybe we'll just leave it on the stick and then dress it up here with the sauce. It's super good. But honestly, I think it's probably better without the without this original hot sauce. And of course, they will both be on wings in the quarter shoe wing thing coming at the end of June. All right. Let's power jab it up. There's a nice sticky sweetness to the sauce that's on here. Which I quite like. It reminds me a little bit of like a Chinese barbecue sauce. The floral nature of scorpions works actually really well in this sauce. They keyed around that pretty nicely. This almost has it's not quite as smokiness, but it's kind of like that. Good portion of umami to this as well. Man, that's a delight. That's really good. But I don't think I've ever, like I said, I don't think I've ever had meat on a skewer that I wasn't happy with. You know, whether it's on a trompo or a spit. Flame roasted meats are just dynamos. All right. We're not going to bother with the rest of the rice on this video. So I got this, which is, see, it's some sort of flame roasted chicken leg and thigh section here. And this might be the adobo, maybe. It's very clearly been marinated. Let's see what we have here. That is also super nice. This was so far away. Normally, so the place I got this at is farther away than I would normally consider. It's quite a drive to get back to the filming location here. And I don't know if there's ever going to come a day when I'm going to film in public. Other than the halls of the temple. Nice, really nice. A lot of sweetness to this. It reminds me a little bit of Hawaiian food, which I guess kind of stands to reason since they're, you know, both island countries. Well, Hawaii is, I guess, technically not a country, but it is an island. Same with Japan. There's some of the sweetness here reminds me a bit of Japanese food as well. Actually, I shouldn't say it. No, I take that back. More Chinese than I think Japanese. Japanese by way of Hawaii, let's say. Let's say that. All right, so what I think I'm going to do here is I think I'm just going to do some dipping. This is, I wish the sauce was not as thick. All right, here we are. Do some dipping here. Dipping away. Super nice thigh here. Thigh, I think, is one of the best meats to grill. I think it's pretty hard to, when I was at really nice high fat content, and that'll help with the smokiness a lot if you're able to smoke it, or you know, it won't dry out as much. The original hot sauce is fine. I don't know what they meant to go on. It's fine here. It's fine. It's a very interesting sauce. I don't think it speaks to me as much though as the Power Jab does. I like that one a lot better. Both will be in quarter two, the quarter two wing thing. But as far as one that I'd want to actually eat all the way through, probably just going to be the Power Jab. I love that name. Yeah. Yeah, Power Jab is way, way better for this kind of thing. I could see where the smoked version of this would be excellent, though. And I wish they would have actually had it so I could have tried it. I'm not a big fan of herbaceous stuff, though, if I'm being honest. It just isn't really my thing. I like what they did with this drumstick as well. Drumsticks are one of my least favorite parts. In fact, I almost never get them if I can avoid it. Oh my goodness, man. The caramelized bits of sauce here with the smoke. Oh, yes. Absolute delight. I really don't think I have a handle on Filipino food, though. I might have to... So the place I went to had a lot of curries. I'm not always such a huge fan of curries. I think in retrospect, though, that these sauces might have worked better with some of the coconut curries and stuff. All right, we're going to save that one. Here's one with a little bit of caramelization. Let's give this original another shot. It's fine. Actually, it's kind of what it reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of a green curry. Which, again, I'm just not a huge fan of. I think certain Thai curries can be good. There's a place making a really nice red curry for a while that I adored that place. Unfortunately, they sold it. And the person who came in afterwards just did not have the necessary skill, unfortunately. All right. Oh. I guess we're wondering about whether or not it's juicy. Shouldn't. I also got a dessert that I guess they call a halo halo. Being gamer brained like I sometimes am, I went in and I went, oh, it's Halo. And they very nicely corrected me and said, no, that's halo halo. So, any Filipinos are watching this, you can have your sport at me for not being able to pronounce stuff. I fully accept that. All right, so I don't usually get these. This is not usually something I'm interested in, but these are bananas. So, and they were on a skewer and are not any longer. That one isn't anyway. Let me try them out. Grilled banana with, maybe it's the same sauce as this, I don't know. I think it might be. These kind of remind me of plantains in that they're not. They might just be less ripe. Or actually, they remind me of. You get those small, like half-size bananas. That might be what these are. All right, I'm gonna try this with the original here. This could be very not worthwhile. We'll see. Well, that was stupid. Oh boy, that's bad. Don't do that. We're going to try it in the power jab also. Nice and caramelized. Wow, this is really good. There's a sausage. I really wanted, well, I think it's called a silog bowl or something like that. That was what I wanted. Try to find one of those damn things though. And it comes with like an egg and rice and stuff. This one is the only Filipino place I could find. The power jab is interesting. I think I would rather have it without it. So I think we're done with that nonsense. No, actually, we're going to throw that in the too. We'll go finish this off. Interesting. So, again, I think hot ones kind of takes a beating a lot of times. For me included. Because they're just, it seems a lot like they just tried to move into being basically a merchandising juggernaut. But They did expose me to Honduran food, which I hadn't had before. El Salvadoran, I think I might have had before. So there's a video, the turmeric bomb video, if you want to see that. There is a handy dandy Hot Ones playlist if you're interested. And now Filipino food. So I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the show doing its part to expand the borders for all of us foodies out there. I cannot extend my appreciation enough to them for that idea, that mindset. As long as the show runs, I hope they continue to do that. They shined a light on Canada. And Canada, in my view, is somebody that I feel like we should be really rallying around right now, because they're being picked on for basically no reason by us collectively, us as in the United States, which is extremely unfortunate. But I didn't realize until the Hot One show that there was that vibrant of a hot sauce scene up there, and there's really some great stuff being produced. You know, primarily I used to live not super distant from Canada, so I was able to visit there a long time ago. And there's a lot of cuisine stuff. I've made poutine as well myself for the channel. Before they're Labatt's and Molson and stuff, knew them for beer. Up in that area, duty free at the border, liquor and stuff. There's a lot to commend Canada, though. I think it's a really great country. Even though I was predisposed to them generally, I was not aware of that hot sauce scene up there, and that did nothing. But I mean, that's just the icing on the cake, the feather in the cap, the feather in the cake, the icing in the cap, if you will. But in all seriousness, that is one of my favorite parts of the Hot Ones. Is just, and I assume they mean to do it directly, that they just are kind of connecting the world, making the world smaller through food, which is, in my view, probably the best way of doing it. Because there is so much great stuff out there that people get to enjoy. And call it FOMO, call it whatever you want, but damn it, I want to partake also. I want to enjoy it as well. So, but yeah, as far as these sauces, which I guess I talked about during there, so we don't really need to do a recap per se. But if you like really herbaceous type sauces more, this is, I think, well worth the look. That does not speak to my palate, to be clear. So this one has got, to me, a really nice balance of this, but it really is not that forward in comparison to all the other stuff. Calling it heat power jab, I think, is kind of funny, because I don't know that there is really all that much heat even in this one. Certainly more than this, but this is almost not. In fact, it is non-existent. This one, I think I gave it a 1 in the written review. We're just gonna double check that real quick here. Yeah, I think a 1's fair. Such a nice flavorful sauce, though. The balance between the peppers and, like I said, the sort of herbaceousness of this one, and additionally, just that bit of heat in there from the scorpions, which, not a fan of the flavor profile per se, but it works to great effect here. And this is honestly, I think this is a super approachable sauce. This one, in my view, worked better on everything I tried it on, except for the rice. Neither of them were good on rice. But as far as the meats and stuff, this one is just fantastic. This one, I think I would have to play around with it a little bit more and try to figure out where it's supposed to go. But again, I don't think it's probably not something I'm really going to enjoy that much, just because I'm not really predisposed to that flavor profile generally. I'm just not herbs, I think, are honestly just of kind of moderate interest to me. unless they're used judiciously. And this one, they're very, very forceful. So this one, and also the graininess of this as well, not a super huge fan of that. So, but yeah, all in all, absolutely thrilled to take a even as small a step as I took. And this is a Filipino run place that I got this from, by the way. So it should be hopefully pretty authentic. Even that small little step I took journeying into that world, I definitely appreciated the experience. And it was there's a lot that I'm really kind of interested in exploring there. So who knows, this might start a new and interesting arc for me. You never know. And the more of those you can have, the better, I think. Certainly I've had a lot of them in my time. I don't know how many more are left, but I'll take all the ones I can get. That's for sure. So anyway, to conclude, this was the Djablo original and the Djablo Power Jab hot sauces. The Power Jab only was in the hot ones, and the season, of course, is noted below in the description if you're interested. And we'll just leave it right there. Nuggle full. In peace. To serve the flame.